Who you talk to? Oh, me? You must say mad. Me buy pussy in a which bag? Who I can wait till marriage before me have sex? You think so me can date my partner 3 to 4 to 5 years and me don't know what it feel like? You must say sick out of this world. A lot of females say, hey, you know, I want to test the waters because boy, me not gonna with a man when who can't stand up and can't cater to me. You understand? Him can't administer to me when I want it, and boy, if it is that him weak, then it can't work. Look at me, good. You think me can hold it so long? This is the way a lot of females and males think. And you know what? That is why so many of you end up in situationships, being pregnant ladies, pregnant before marriage, being single parents, or just having your clouded judgment, depression, not beating or bashing anyone. But this is a video that's gonna touch on some toes, and I trust and hope that you will not feel afraid to drop your opinion in the comment section. That's the reason for me being here, so I can hear what you think. Recently I was talking to a very close friend, bona fide friend of mine, and they were having a discussion with some individuals. So there was one on the end saying, yo, me, you must say, you, they're with a partner for 2 years and you gotta wait till 2 years or 3 years until you're married before you can feel what it feel like for them with a person and have that sexual encounter with them. You must say, out of this world, you're sick, you know. So that person wasn't seeing the whole fact of waiting before marriage as something that makes sense. And then on the biblical side, you know, the person, the friend of mine was saying, well, it is a command of God. That's what he said. So I'm going to go by that. And the other friend, which was there, was saying, well, you know, I don't know you do it still, no. But I don't think I could do it, but I think I can wait so long. But if it work for you, it work for you. You know, I mean, I discourage you and all of these things. Now, I want you to tell me, this is your opportunity. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know what's your thought. You know, I have no problem to have sex before marriage, or it's best that I keep my virginity and wait till marriage. But I'm just going to tell you why it makes sense to wait until marriage before you have sex. None of us are saints. My video here about how I broke my virginity will show you that I am definitely someone who has gone before and experienced this. Now, I want to bring out some pointers in this video. First things first, remaining a virgin gives you the opportunity to explore who you are in different ways. It makes you see what it is that you love, what about your body that turns you on a certain way, or the way that your body reacts to a person that you may like. And so you are better able to understand you, yourself. You understand how your body is made up. So it gives you that time for yourself. Now, when it is that you move out of having that time for yourself and you say, hey, I'm going to share my body with somebody who is not my husband, who is not my wife, you know what that can cause now? It can cause you to start to yearn for something where, because remember, I start up here, so, you know, and then it start to move up and down in your body. So your body start operate based on what you feed it. So it starts to make you think about this person more, and you want to spend time, you want to do things that is putting both of you in compromising positions. It makes you start to want to take off their clothes. And when you start to want to take off their clothes and you start to see them and imagine them in different ways, one of them there may just get mad, you know, and put it on them, you know. So when you act upon that, it places you in a place where now it starts to cloud the judgment as to how you really feel about the person. So it's like you have yourself judging yourself at the same time, like, boy, why am I going to do this? Boy, it's supposed to not work out. So you have yourself in limbo, and then boom, it happen where you and the person no work out, and you start to say to yourself, say, boy, I'm in a depression, I'm depressed because it never work out. And that is one of the things that can happen to you when you are in a relationship with somebody and you go against God's commandments and have sex before marriage. I'm starting with the simple ones. I'm going to get more intense. And so that depression is what you have, right? Now, if it is that you keep your virginity, guess what else can happen? You won't have anybody to be focusing on to say, hey, this is what it feels like with John, Dick, and Harry, or Tom, and Nikisha, and Kerry. No, you won't have that to say, I'm going to be able to compare this person with this person. No, you're going to have yourself now thinking how I can be able to have myself, finding different creative ways to prepare for that husband or that wife. So when they come, I can be able to put it on them so that it can be our memory, not memories of other persons. So I am looking and saying, oh, if I'm already involved with somebody and I'm doing things with them right now, I'm gonna now use that if it never work out and compare how I felt in that time with that person to my partner. So if you wait before marriage, you can be able to have yourself putting your all, developing different experiences with your spouse. You understand? You don't have to be thinking about what if it is that I'm in this bedroom and Shelly come into my head and I'm just saying, boy, remember a time when Shelly put it on for me a certain way, boy, you start think about that person instead of your partner. Or if you see a partner do a certain things a certain way, you start to say, oh, must I say me so John used to touch me and rub me down and yeah. So it puts you in a place where you become clouded. Your judgment is extremely clouded, and that's not a good thing. So that is a big con when you're looking at having sex out of marriage. The next thing is this. When you have sex before marriage, you know what can happen? When you say, oh, you want to tiptoe and feel like a lot of females say, hey, I want to test the waters because, boy, me not going to with a man when him can't stand up and can't cater to me. You understand? Him can't administer to me when I want it. And, boy, if it is that him weak, then it can't work. Some females, that's the thought process that them have. They must say, yo, I have to know what it feel like. I have to know what I deal with before me get into this. And so, you know what? Some of you only end up get pregnant for this man. Or no future. See with a man, that man no care in this world for a child. Let me speak a little bit in the standard English just for my international listeners. So you don't see any future with this individual, but what? That person came. Oops experience took place, or an intentional experience took place, and this person and you're no longer together. And what happened now is you have to be juggling between this toxicity. You and this person who may be a narcissist or a person who just not care about you any at all. They just share a child, which is causing some disparity between you and the child because you don't have a connection, and it mash up the child mates too. So mentally it compromises your mental health. It affects you. And so if you were to stay celibate and you were to say, I'm gonna hold it yeah man, I hold like a G, understand, until marriage, you would have eliminated all of that pressure to come on you. You understand me? Yes, if you're following me, you can drop it in the chat. And if I'm making sense, leave a thumbs up, leave a like. And so that is a lot of times the things that I see happen to females. And you have some female out there, boy. Someone look good about don't span inside and up that's not. And that's why it is always said, don't let the external trick you, because you know what, my special women I talk to right now. Some of know what happened to our rich, look pan a man because the man look tall, dark, muscular and all these things. And say, why? I love him, lift me up, And I go on the most ways. And guess what? I give him a one night stand. When I end up bouncing myself in a situation, she don't really want an else now, but because the guy look good, so I jump in a situation. She while if you stand by herself and say, hey, may I develop a friendship, may I develop a little friendship, I can grow into a relationship, then you will eventually reach to that stage where both of you can come to a mature calm, agreement and say, hey, we're gonna wait until marriage. Don't get it wrong, and mind you, you will have times when the heat is gonna be turned up on both of you. You're gonna see, hey, especially if that person, as you know, you're very attracted to them mentally, physically, and spiritually. You have that connection there. Trust me, emotionally, you are gonna be connected too. So we know sometimes the fire is gonna be blazing when you're gonna feel like, hey, yeah, but I can assure you, if you wait, it will be worth it. It'll be worth it after all time. Trust me, it'll be worth it after all. Trust me, it will be worth it after all of those trials. You're gonna have temptations. Don't get it wrong. You will have temptations, but it will be worth it after all. Let me just drop a little story in here. So you remember the time when, Eve, she was told, thou shalt not eat of that tree in the garden. And she went ahead and she ate it because what? The serpent said, thou shalt not surely die. But then when she introduced it to Adam and Adam ate, that's where sin came into the world. Before, they were perfect, and God made them in his own image. And yes, they were naked, but here what? That type of naked there wasn't a sinful naked. It wasn't a naked where how they could have seen each other, private parts. No, it wasn't until the Adam ate that fruit and then sin came into the world. And that's how the serpent, he will come and you'll be cunningly deceiving you, telling them, hey, yeah man, taste it a little bit, yeah man, touch a little thing off it, right? So, and you end up having yourself with some memories. Where the song go? I wonder where say, no, another song that I think about. No man, no the song I talk about, man. But coming back to what I'm saying, when you wait, you're able to teach each other how you want to be catered to. You're able to nurture each other emotionally in that sexual way. You're able to grow and flourish in the bedroom, outside of the bedroom, anywhere you are once you wait until marriage, because you won't have yourself in any case looking to say, boy, I regret making this decision or having this done with Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Nikisha, Skelisha, or Candy, because what? These individuals were never good to start with at first. And so you have yourself sometimes being scandalized, you have yourself sometimes being enemies afterwards. Sometimes you just say, boy, say, I'm really and truly never know, say, I saw them did stay. If you stay true to your morals and stay true to your standards, you can hold it, Yeah, man. Of course, I have not held it. And I definitely know that for sure. Right now, I can tell you safely that it makes sense to hold it, because all of that which I went through, of course, I have experiences and I know it feels like, but it could have really wait. You know what I mean? It could have wait. Could have eliminated you from having to go through all those different things I mentioned just now. So I truly believe that when you follow God's command to wait up until marriage, until death do us part, go with the marital vows, wait, that will allow you to have less stress, less problems, because if I did it this way, which is God's way, I would have really bypassed having to go through this. So I just want to implore somebody, if you're waiting, keep waiting. Nothing is wrong, my friend. Don't make them laugh off you because you're a virgin. Yes, man. Yeah, man. A lot of friends will laugh off you. Just as I started, there was one person who was laughing and saying, you're mad, that could never happen. While the next one was saying, boy, I don't know way to do it. But if you have a stance where you see that following God's way is the best way, do it. Don't go the wrong way, because you'll have to face the consequences. So thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Jovi, Mr. Royalty. I'm always back with another quality. And if you have not yet subscribed, hit the button and don't make me have nothing. The place where you come to stay, the lives are being changed and impacted each and every day. I'm out.